Chaotically Nerdy is made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults for adults and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And me, Ethan.
And this week, we're going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. I made sure not to read my own title, which was Juju K again.
Like, why didn't you read it what you wrote?
Yeah. It finished, I don't know, like a month ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. And we're finally getting back together to record it.
Yeah.
I actually, believe it or not, binged it in these last 3 days.
It's very bingeable.
It is very bingeable, but
good.
That's me having the kid too.
Sure.
So basically I don't get to start watching until 9 o'clock
Yeah.
at night. And then I watch from 9 to whenever I go to bed. And then today, whenever they both took a nap, I was like, now's the time.
22
Finish
minutes.
it.
23 episodes. What is that?
It wasn't a lot.
11 hours? No, not 11 hours.
It wasn't bad.
6 hours?
I have no idea.
It
I've never
math.
timed it out.
I haven't either. So we're not going to do the first one that's up there. We're going to actually skip because I want to start doing the first one up there is ratings.
Oh,
I want to
sure.
start doing the ratings at the end.
With the, like, IMDb.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
not that this one has it, but, like,
Well, it kind of has it, but not really. But I do want to leave it until the
Hey,
end.
you're the one that formatted it.
Well, I started running out of room, if you can't tell. So,
Make
first
it a
up,
two-parter.
how'd you feel about being, I put hidden inventory because that's what it was titled, but the past arc. Did you like starting off there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Did you?
Well, just for premise, like, it had like a flashback for like the first like
5
five.
It was 5.
5 episodes.
The 5th episode is like the last.
But it's not called
But it
Hidden Inventory.
premises a lot of the stuff that happens later on in the season.
Yeah,
So it is. I really liked it.
I did too.
I thought it was good. In fact, I liked it more than the rest of the season by a little bit. Not that I didn't like the rest of the season. I liked young Gojo.
And then next up was this was just me as Gato was bitching about his technique and how they tasted disgusting and like just the way he was talking, it made me think like, did he turn evil because of his technique? Granted, we learn why he turns the way he does. And it's because Toji beats the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
This is like OG Gato who decided
Yeah.
not Kenjaku
Not Kenjaku.
shit later on. You're looking at me like I'm an idiot for some reason.
I don't understand the question.
Well, Gato's whole... I wondered if absorbing curses is what made him start to be that darker...
You are what you eat.
Yeah. Darker, I want to kill
maybe
everybody
The
who's not a
monkeys.
curse user. It literally, the monkeys is what he says.
I think it's that, and then a combination of how they, the girls, their parents,
Yeah.
treated them and stuff like.
Yeah. He treated them like they were the fault because they could see the curses that were...
Well, he's not
happening.
Anakin. He's Count Dooku.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't fall because of some negative thing really that happened to him. It falls over a bunch of negative circumstances that he
Encounters.
witnesses and encounters that really show him that the processes and the system that's set up that they've been using all this time is not working.
It's a broken system.
It's a broken
It's
system.
literally wait until people die, then go take care of the problem.
And then, like Count Dooku, he ends up on the wrong side of things in the end. Yeah.
You have to remember, like, Gojo is like this close
Oh, yeah.
to like also
Joining that side.
turning and flipping.
Well, it's the whole absolute power corrupts absolutely, and it happens in like it's a basic story trope. So if you've got a lot of power, generally speaking, at some point you're gonna go bad.
Absolute
So-
power corrupts absolutely.
And then
That's what I said.
Yeah.
next up is how did Toji forget Megami? So when he's at the like
I think
racetrack, whenever they're first, And I mean this like the first instance that we really see Toji, because he's hiring him and he's like, oh, how's Megami, by the way? Who's Megami? Was his response.
I always read that as like he just didn't care.
Okay.
And he's just like being super or
also it's Toji.
Or deny because
so this recent rewatch, I will say this, he did whenever he met somebody, he met somebody later on.
He tells Gojo as he's dying
that he's always terrible at names.
Oh no.
No.
Okay.
Like he after the comeback, like whenever he comes back, he sees somebody and he's like, I've always been terrible at names. Yeah. So maybe that's just their nod towards how he forgot it, which is kind of weird.
I don't know. I kind of figured he was just like being a dickhead, and
it's very possible.
Or like kind of like trying to protect Megami from.
Yeah, but he was going to sell him to the Zenin.
He's also not the most intelligent, and oftentimes they'll describe people like meathead people in like any sort of media. It gets described as not being able to remember people's names.
Yeah.
But he also then like tells Gojo what's happening with Megami is like, do with it what you will. Figure it out.
It's so weird. And then next up, Gojo's not near as heartless as they paint him out to be. I said that because he seems very cold towards the girl at first. Like it's very much just a job. Let's go get her. And then takes her on a trip and convinces him to stay an extra day and do all this and that and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, it really works
out. He's trying to be cool. He's trying to be too cool, and it didn't work.
He is cool.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just trying to, like what you said, trying to be cool.
Yeah.
He's trying to put on that front of, I do the job, and then we're going to get it done, and that's it. When really he gets invested.
It's like every 80s action here. Like, I'm not invested. I don't care.
And then you watch
the box full of kittens anyway, right? Yeah.
The box, poor Megami, Yuji, and Nobara. They're just a box full of kittens to Gojo.
They are, yeah.
This is the point of at least this whole arc is like he cares. He cares about the people. About people.
Because you can't care about somebody who doesn't have soft spots. You can't. Yeah.
And then now I think I already know the answer to this because it seems pretty simple now that I think about it more often. Do people create the heavenly pacts themselves, or do the parents, or is it just thrust upon them? And I think it's just thrust upon them realistically.
I don't know if
because I don't know
if like the lore says one way or the other.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
The reason I think it has to be just random is because if you look at Mekamaru, I don't know any person that would choose that.
Well, I think in the show it just says it's random.
Yeah.
Pretty much it just says it's random. Well,
it's like you're cursed with this heavenly pact.
It's just RNG.
Yeah. You rolled up a fucking...
Screw RNG.
You rolled up somebody with one leg and constant pain. Or you rolled up Toji.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You mean...
No.
Okay.
I mean Toji.
Toji.
Yeah.
But I also mean Maki.
Yeah.
Who is Toji 2.0 in a little bit.
Might be better.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. As anime goes, we always build off the the prototype and make them stronger.
Ideally. I put that there's a problem with Gojo dying. The only real problem is the fact that it doesn't matter. Because it's a prequel.
Yeah, there's no stakes. Yeah.
There's none whatsoever. You know that he comes back somehow.
Yeah.
What does it matter how he comes back?
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. Anime bullshit.
It was cool.
So. It's kind of like, it looked, the way that the scene was set up, it looked like it was meant to be a shock factor.
It was unexpected because I was like, what the fuck? Not that I was like, he's dead, but I was like, okay.
Well, as soon as
what happens?
Well, it's weird because you're like very confused because this is a flashback prequel thing, and then like
he's back.
Somebody who's alive in the real time
looks dead,
dies in the past. That's really weird.
Yeah. So I knew that he was going to die in that flashback from the start. As soon as they talked about reverse curse technique, and Gojo said something about he doesn't understand it. Shoko just talks about it, and it sounds like mumbled words to him. So that was the second I was like, he's going to die and he's going to have to learn reverse curse technique because we already knew he had it.
Yeah.
From Red. I will tell you what did catch me off guard. Rico getting shot while she's standing there with Gato. Like, I knew she was going to die. The kid.
I don't think it was surprising.
I was just
like how it happened doesn't really matter. It was going too well.
Well, no, I knew she was going to die.
Yeah.
I just meant I didn't expect her to be standing there looking at Gato and get shot in the head.
It was a good scene.
Also, mainly because you don't see a whole lot of guns.
I laughed.
I mean,
because I was like, fucking Toji, you motherfucker.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's like, fucking, I'll just use a fucking gun.
I put this one because I knew it would make Ethan mad. Why does explaining your technique in pack make it stronger? Because fucking anime bullshit.
That's literally just a thing that fucking happens in this show.
Yeah.
Because it's a trope in anime. They're like, you know what? We're going to make it part of the lore.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's probably the smartest thing they've ever done.
I really do. I fucking love it. For two reasons. One, people explain their pack, or like explain their technique, so now you know what the fuck it actually does.
Yeah. It gives it like, because some of these techniques are really fucking confusing and like how they work. And you need some explanation. Be like, okay, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Especially like the later on.
Yeah.
Like once you get to like season 3, you're going to see some shit that you're going to be like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on right now.
I don't need exposition. And all that is exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's literally the worst part of the show.
Oh, I love it.
But
it's stupid.
Ethan, it could be not part of the lore and actually useful in the show, or it could be part of the show and is useful.
That's true. I mean,
Part of the lore or not, it fills the same role.
Because it was going to happen
It's
either way.
a time sink so that they can create more episodes so they don't have to make as much story.
That's not true.
Absolutely it is. It's absolutely true because that's what they do in every anime to fill time.
I was going to tell you.
Because most episodes of any combat in any sort of shonen anime, most of it is the same. Somebody starts an attack at the beginning of the episode. They explain it. It fails. Then they explain why it didn't happen. That's 15 minutes. You have 10 to 15 more minutes to do the rest of the combat. And really what happens is it doesn't finish. And the next episode's exactly the same except for it's reversed. The person that they're fighting makes an attack. It doesn't work. And then they explain it again. Another 15 minutes, repeat.
Have you only watched one anime that's called Dragon Ball Z? Because
no, that's like every shonen anime. That's like every shonen anime.
Maybe from like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Most of them
now are not.
It's exactly the same in this. It's exactly the same in Demon Slayer. Yes, it is. Go watch it again and just look at it from that point of view. It's exactly the same. So, I'm not saying I don't enjoy the show. I'm saying that's frustrating.
You're saying that that this adds filler. This is one of the most fast-paced animes that exists.
Absolutely.
It is. I'm not saying this is the worst offender. I'm saying that this does the same thing, just not as badly.
But this whole 23 episodes covers
a lot.
Almost 100 chapters of the manga.
Jesus, I didn't know it covered that much.
Do you know how many episodes this would be in Naruto, Dragon Ball Z? This would be
3 seasons.
No, this would at least be 170 episodes.
Yeah.
Because of exactly what you said.
That's why I'm not watching Naruto. I'm not saying that these are the worst offenders.
I'm saying it.
JJK is the worst offender. It does happen. No. It's not as fast paced. I mean, those other ones aren't as fast paced as JJK, but this is not nearly the worst offender. But it does the same thing.
Every fight takes place over 2 to 3 episodes.
Yeah, this is not nearly as bad as most others.
Mahito Yuji fight is like 5 episodes.
Yep.
I would say that's broken.
I had to watch it, but it is broken up. I will give you that. It's broken up into basically 3 separate fights.
Yeah.
Because it's Yuji versus Mahito by himself. Yeah. And then Nobara and Mahito and Yuji. And then Todo and Yuji, and then just Yuji by himself. Yeah. So I guess 3 to 4.
This is not as bad as the others. Yeah. But this still does the same thing.
I don't think.
Yeah, it is. It's the same fucking thing.
You
can say it however much you want. but it's still true because they go through, they start their attack, they explain it, and then it fails half the time, more than half the time. Yep. Believe me, I watched it twice.
I'm trying to think of when it really... The only time that I can think of that it fails, that they talk about it, is the dude with the fucking mustache that is talking about how it's inverse. Where they had to like hit him hard and soft at the same time.
And that's like...
Or anybody's fight with Maki. Anybody's fight with Maki. The same thing happens until he touches them.
I mean,
Mahito. Sorry. Too many names.
The only one I can think of that explained their technique was Nanami to Mahito. And he didn't win that fight, but he didn't lose it either because he crushed Mahito and then left. And they considered that a
What
wash.
about the Yuji Mahito fight?
I still consider that a wash too. Are you? Oh, wait, which one are you meaning?
They
are you
both continually, either in monologue or in thought, explain what's going on. Or I forget his name, the blood sorcerer guy.
Chozo. That one did have a lot, but that was also the narrator explaining what the hell was going on with it.
That's still the same thing. Whether the narrator's explaining it or they're explaining it, it's still the same thing.
But it didn't stop any action.
Yeah, they're narrating over action, so I don't think of it as...
I'm saying this one does it better. It's still doing it. It does it better. It's still doing it. Why do you have to have explained every single thing that goes on? Why do you have to explain why the blood beam is so effective? Why does that have to be explained? There's no suspension of disbelief because there is no lack of explanation. That's called fantasy, and sorcery is usually fantasy. There's no mystery behind it at all. Why do you have to have it explained?
I would say it's because this show has an internal logic that they're trying to make sure everybody understands. This is why this thing is able to defeat this thing, but not this thing.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. So they're just trying to make it clear because...
But it still does the same exposition thing that all other basic combat shonens do.
I just don't see it. I don't see it because what you're describing of the basic exposition thing is where it's very static. There is no action. It is just monologuing back and forth.
I agree with that because I immediately think of Frieza.
Yeah.
Like holding up the death beam. Or like the planet exploding thing and being like, I'll just blow up the planet with this da-da-da-da-da, and nothing happens while he's sitting there. Yeah. That's what I think of when the way you explained it.
Yeah.
And then it not working or, whatever.
And then
this still does it. It's not as bad as those. Like Naruto or DBZ.
All right, back to the script. So this isn't 2 hours long. Gojo's snap scene, which is whenever he's like come back after reverse curse technique, has got to be one of my favorite from this season. The whole I alone am in the honored one as he's falling and just Toji keeps missing him was great.
Yeah. It is awesome, realization of power, like coming into like his godhood because he is like insanely powerful in that moment.
And then next up, I put, can Gojo aim purple just a little bit better?
I was considering the way I read it, that's the first time he ever
that is the first time he's ever used it. But then if you think back to the Hanami fight, he also just cuts a chunk out of Hanami in basically the exact same spot. And it's like, if you just worked on that a little bit, you wouldn't have near as many problems.
Based on like what he explains later, I think it's it's during this little training montage in the middle of this hidden inventory section where he's like how much brain power it takes to like use all. I'm like, I give him a little bit of a pass where he's like, it takes like all of my brain power. In fact, I'm giving myself many fucking strokes using my powers right now.
Well,
He's like, and I'm having to heal the strokes
Yeah.
as I go.
I'm like, all right.
Which
gets
is
a pass.
pretty great. Though.
and how exactly are you supposed to practice that?
Yeah.
Reasonably.
Desert. He can teleport. I don't know if he can
Desert.
teleport at this point, but
Well, how far
Yeah.
does that travel?
we don't know because in
Yeah.
the movie he
Yeah.
goes from wherever the fuck the Night Parade of 100, or is it Night Parade of 100? Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
He goes from there
No,
back to Jujutsu High like it's nothing,
Yeah.
and just bounces all around.
That's from Kyoto to Japan?
Yeah,
Or to Tokyo?
something I don't.
That's-
I couldn't tell you because I don't remember.
Well, I just know because like the Kyoto kids are there.
And he teleports back to get Yuji, which we can assume is not actually that far. Whenever he fights Jogo the first time,
I assume that's like somewhere like on the outer
Yeah,
suburbs
I do
of
too.
Tokyo, but I don't know.
we just don't know. Did you catch the Toji dub mistake?
No.
Okay, so as he's dying, you didn't catch it either? No. Okay. I really only caught it because I seen an article about it right before. They fixed it now because on the rewatch I've noticed it. But whenever he's talking after he got purpled, he says something. He's like, he's talking about blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, that's right. He's fighting Gato and them and he's talking about blessings. And then he kind of stops and now that it's fixed, he says, I name my blessing Megami. Or I name my kid Megami. Something like that. Because Megami means blessing. And he ended up in the mix up, he said, I named my curse Megami.
Both are applicable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on point of view there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next up, I just wrote monkeys because I love the fact that
Fucking Gato's goddamn.
Frieza 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like the fact that I told you about this. This is still on the monkeys part. That if Gojo, like whenever Toji just showed up because he knew about the bounty, if Gojo would have just said, I'll give you, because I think they gave him 30 million or something like that. If he would have just said, I'll give you 40 million, Toji would have said, all right, deuces.
Yeah.
Because he's only doing it for money.
Yeah.
And that would have possibly saved Gato and what's her nuts. Then we don't have a whole show, essentially.
We probably do.
Whenever Gojo's talking to Megami, whenever he's a kid, and he tells him, get strong enough to keep up with me. I would be so pissed if I was Megami, because, like, what kind of fucking ask is that?
A big one, apparently.
You are Satoru Gojo, and you want me to keep up with you?
Megami doesn't know that at that point.
He doesn't know that at that point.
He's
But
like-
then as he gets older,
There's
and
just
he
this
knows...
white-haired fuck that's
And
annoying.
I don't know if you caught it because Megami's hair was down as a kid. Whenever Megami turned around, Gojo was ready to fight Megami because I guess it reminded him of Toji so much. Like if you look at it, he's got his fingers in a certain way, and they actually like show his fingers relax after he's talking to Megami. And I was like, that's great. Toto scenes always crack me up.
As I debated in the anime chat, Ao Toto is the best.
See,
My favorite character of probably any anime I've ever watched.
there's certain times that I really, really like him because he does crack me up. And then there's certain times that I just can't stand him.
Really? I just don't.
Yeah. There's the time.
Win.
Okay.
Win.
So
He's fantastic.
He saved Yuji.
Yeah.
And he's standing there and he's talking about how they're the sacred ones and all this shit.
That's the best shit.
I can't stand
That's
it.
the best shit. Is his?
I don't know why
his
I
fucking
can't stand-
fantasy monologues of them being brothers.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking good. It's my favorite part.
It was just the way he said it came off so preachy to me. And I was like, what? Who are you?
I'm your older brother.
But also
No, you're not.
No, you're not, Toto.
the realization of his recommendation and working together with Yuji, because he was like, great, we get to go on fights or we get to go on missions together. No, we recommended him. We can't do it. What? And he just like his whole face.
No.
Although I will say there's some bullshit with that too, because Yuji then immediately gets set on this Shibuya mission with Mei.
Did she?
Yes, because you have to have two people
Oh, that's
recommend
right.
you.
Oh.
And Mei and Toto both recommended those 5.
But But I don't know.
Yeah. And then next up, the odd-toned episodes are always thrown in the mix. Yuji meeting a middle school girl, or girl from middle school that had a crush on him. I was like, what? And then the whole human earthworm shit.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's just so random.
I do love the narrative of oh no, I've forgotten his name. The guy who died in the first season. The one who introduced Yuji to the fucking human earthworm movie series. I can't.
Junpei?
Junpei. This ongoing theme of now. He introduced Yuji, and now Yuji's introducing everybody else to this fucking stupid ass movie.
Junpei lives on.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck?
Idle transfiguration heavily packs. It's great that Mahito can fix people. It also sucks that it's Mahito that can do it because there's no real point. He's going to try and murder him after.
Yeah.
And well, I also was thinking like if you had somebody else that was a heavenly pact, meaning Maki mainly, could he then make them to where they could not use their powers as much? It's a weird. Idle transfiguration is such a weird technique to me.
It's one of the most like
OP shit.
OP like just whatever the writer, whatever Gage wants it to do, it can do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you think about that other way is like, what if?
Ethan's getting a call.
No, timer.
Oh, timer.
I don't know why. I don't remember setting a timer.
It's all right.
All right.
For right now, 9:50 at night.
It's a very odd time.
All right. Like the Heavenly Pact thing. Well, like Gato absorbs curses.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't he then also like absorb other people's like
Techniques.
So
he did make a comment whenever he absorbed Mahito near the end of the season.
Yeah.
That it has to be special grade or higher, or special grade.
Yeah.
Or no, I think he said first grade or higher, which would be first grade and special grade.
So my thing is, if he makes a Heavenly Pact, could he then keep people from, if he were to use it that way, could he then keep people who are experiencing the negative effects of their abilities, like going into comas and stuff like that, right? Because there are some people like that, who aren't able to be sorcerers because they're, unpredictable or their powers are unpredictable or whatever. Couldn't he like absorb them and heal them? If he were to make something like this.
Theoretically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now he could just fucking do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he could. Yes.
Yeah, now
he would just absorb them, though, which is not what you want.
Yeah. If you're trying to heal somebody, absorbing them and keeping them forever is probably not the main idea.
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean is, do you think that he could then do it without absorbing the person, just absorbing like the
cursed energy?
The cursed energy?
I don't think so, because I think the way his technique works pulls the whole thing in.
Whole kit and caboodle.
All the cursed energy and everything. Which
but
is
it could be like a
people.
higher technique of his that he could then take 20 minutes to explain.
Be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Giant Mechamaru is dumb. Bigger they are, harder they fall. You're a bigger hit for Mahito to touch. Granted, they never explained if he could transform metal or not. So
it's kind of implied he can't.
Okay.
He has to he actually, remember, because at the end he has to break into it to touch Mechamaru's actual body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To end the fight. And he has to use his domain to even do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why. And also the giant mech is just like a nice callback to like Gundam. And
it is.
Yeah. But it is dumb in the way it's like, what the fuck? Now we just have a giant mech?
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then he dies.
Yep.
But did he? Was so stupid.
But did he though?
No, he's actually dead.
I know
he
is.
But what I mean is, he's now an AI robot headset piece thing. I guess
that's what I mean by that.
And
he's
so
still
a lot
there.
of those got destroyed too. So.
Oh yeah.
I think 2 out of the 3, because I think there was only 3.
Yeah, but it's like obviously
because there was the one useless Miwa had, and then there was the one that was spying on Gato and the curses. And then there was the one Yuji had, which also got destroyed.
As they've shown, though, Mechamaru's like apparently can think like 40 moves ahead. So who's to say he doesn't have more somewhere hidden? If they ever wanted him to come back, they could be like, "Yeah, here's another one."
Yeah, And then once we finally got into the Shibuya arc, I was terrified because I'd heard so much about the Shibuya arc
It's fucking rough.
that I was like, this is going to be so bad.
Bro, it's fucking rough.
And it actually had me on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I was excited for it. I was excited and terrified, I guess. The curses were playing with the kids at the park, which was creepy. Mostly Dagon and Maito.
Yeah.
Dagon, however you say his name.
Dagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little fuck.
That was kind of nice. And terrible at the same time.
Exactly.
Terrible.
Then next up, Gojo remains a psycho because the whole I'm going to fight multiple curses, and then he just rips out Hanami's tree stalks, which was fucking like, if you were to show somebody one little scene from an anime and you were like, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, they're going to say Gojo in that.
He's the bad guy. Yeah.
But it was great because I loved it. And then we've already kind of talked about if Mechamaru is dead, how is he still communicating? Because he set up some AI shit beforehand.
He's downloaded his consciousness into these earpieces.
Apparently. And then, as we know, Gato is actually Noritoshi Kamo. By the end of the season, we know. Can he actually give Gato's body back? Because he said that he would to the girls. He didn't make a pact.
He's fucking lying.
I know he was, but...
And also, he's not even Noritoshi Kamo. Like,
He doesn't need to keep that
he was
promise.
Kenjaku before that.
Yeah.
He took over Kamo's body.
And then, okay,
The
that makes
same-
more
yeah.
sense. Then he started doing all the evil shit. That's what made Noritoshi so
Doesn't need
evil.
doesn't even need to bother keeping the promise because Sukuna killed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
also in a fucking...
that was a
goddamn-
good scene.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. I was like, oh, God.
I did like that he cut off Jogo's head, though, because Jogo didn't bow far enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's great. And then next up, Toji's resurrection, which was the whole fight, like all of that shit. After they brought Toji back, had me so excited.
Are we just skipping over the ceiling?
The ceiling.
Gojo's ceiling?
Oh, I mean,
You don't have anything on it.
that's part of it. I don't want to talk about it.
Why?
Because I have a question that maybe I watched it and it just like the expedition actually didn't help, or I just misunderstood it.
Okay.
How much time took in place when he activated his domain expansion and killed all the?
0.2 seconds.
But then they say it lasted 600 seconds.
No, it was 0.2 seconds that it happened. It then caused everybody in that
To be stunned for 600?
to be stunned
Gotcha.
and it was 400 it was 299 seconds.
Yeah, I knew it was something. It was longer than a minute, which is what the thing needed.
What his technique does apparently is the longer they are in that void, the more they are filled with information. Because the narrator said that in that 0.2 seconds, it filled every person that was in the infinite void with 6 months worth of knowledge, and that's why they were stunned.
Okay, I was making sure I didn't misunderstood that it was they were in it for 0.2 seconds and then they were stunned for 300 seconds, and that's why
6 months worth of knowledge.
All in
I
that
feel
0.2
like
seconds.
whoever came up with that has never worked a dead end job because the 6 months worth of knowledge ain't shit.
Yes,
Yeah,
but in 0.2 seconds, it would probably give you a headache.
No, well, maybe a headache, but you wouldn't be like blah for like like
I don't know. It depends on how
minutes.
much knowledge we're talking.
I guess
That's what I'm saying. It's
don't
like,
really-
you ever worked a dead end job and
we
then
don't
just
really have
gone
a way
home
to
and
test
sleep?
this in real life, so we don't really know what actually would happen.
I don't think so. I don't think that would just stun somebody out.
I was more impressed.
It depends on like the 6 months we're talking about. If like the 6 months where both like two of your grandparents died, maybe.
See,
But like the 6 months where you've just been working a dead end job, like between March and September.
the way I see it is it's not only just like mental like information, it's like your visual information, your hearing, your
Yeah.
auditory that like overloads those senses.
Like it just hits you with everything.
Like,
Like
you know,
imagine every
Wouldn't
show
you just
you.
pass out then instead of just being like
Well, I guess
standing there like?
Well, I think that's. They didn't fall, but that's kind of.
yeah,
How
but they're
they were
stunned.
doing
I think they'd
through.
fall over anyway.
Probably
At
would.
the
Should.
very least.
Well,
they
for-
would have fallen over.
Fucking what was it? 3 minutes, 300 seconds. Somebody should have fell.
which is 5 minutes, but
It also was impressive that in just under 5 minutes, because it'd be 4:59.
oh yeah,
Just under 5 minutes, he killed 1,000 curses.
oh that part I totally believe. Like they literally say in the hidden inventory arc, Ghetto's like, yeah, you could just fucking kill everybody.
Yeah.
And he's like, And then you see this part, you're like, no, he could fucking kill everybody.
Yeah. I also did like that.
Like Geto wasn't lying. He could fucking murder everybody.
Since we're talking about the ceiling, I also liked that it was like, we have to keep him still for a minute, but it only had to be a minute in his mind. Did you catch that part?
But it was a minute in
Gojo's mind. It wasn't a minute in real time whenever they sealed him. Because it cuts back to Geto saying that it literally only has to be a minute in Gojo's mind. Because he's like, it has to be a minute in Satoru Gojo's mind. And then it cuts to Geto saying, hey, to Gojo, and him turning around, and then you see the whole flashback from all the scenes they've already animated, and then he's caught. He can't go anywhere at that point.
Yeah.
Which is its whole own thing. And then Nanami's tone shift when he started fighting the Miracle Boy. I call him the Miracle Boy because I don't know his fucking name, but I hate him. I hate him. I think it's Haruka, honestly.
That sounds right.
But I don't like
Who's Miracle Boy?
the guy with the stripes underneath his eyes that was running around killing the assistants outside the veil.
Yeah.
Oh.
Had the sword with the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like him.
Why do you call him Miracle Boy?
Because that's his technique.
Yeah, it's his powers. Like
Yeah, I
he's
know.
Like,
but
I don't know. I didn't know his name whenever I wrote it down.
I see.
Miracle Boy.
And when I said, I know that if I didn't write down Miracle Boy, I wouldn't remember who the fuck he was.
That's fine. I just very weird name. I don't like Miracle Boy.
No,
That's like my second least favorite person.
Yeah, we all know it's Mahito's least
Yeah.
favorite, but
Yeah.
they're supposed to be,
But they're really closely on the bad side.
they're supposed to not be likable and at all. You're supposed to hate them. You're supposed to.
I usually like hateable characters. These are just poor characters.
And then next up, I cut back to Mei Mei and her bullshit, the smallpox deity and vaccines. I was wondering how that would work because it's one of those things she said, if I'm stuck in this domain, I will catch smallpox. And I was like, it's 2018. Shouldn't you have vaccines for that? Was my first thought.
I don't think anybody's vaccinated for
Wasn't
smallpox
there?
anymore.
No, we eradicated it with vaccines, but now we don't get vaccinated for it.
We don't get vaccinated for it
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought we still got vaccinated for
No.
it. I guess because you don't see it, so I just
Well,
assumed we
for
still
a
did.
specific reason, it doesn't. Well, I don't want to get into medical stuff, but smallpox doesn't actually change that quickly.
Yeah, it's not evolutionary.
It's not like the flu,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't change that quickly. So we're actually getting inoculated from the vaccines that our parents got. Still, so
Gotcha.
so even though that there is still smallpox out in the world in places, it's not like spreading like wildfire because
we just
everybody's
learned-
been inoculated
Yeah.
So
for decades.
wouldn't surprise me though if like
A strain of it came out. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising.
And then how does Chozo fight so long with so much blood loss? I assume it's because he's a cursed womb death painting. But this also brings me to the point that if the other Noritoshu Kamo, like the Jujutsu High one, was like a quarter of proficient as Chozo was, he would be a force to be reckoned with because Chozo is ridiculous.
yeah, Chozo is like ridiculous.
Like with his blood control. Because you see Noritoshi have to use blood bags.
Yeah.
And then once he uses the blood, it's just gone. Whereas Chozo can just bring it back.
I looked this up.
Did you?
But because I thought the same thing. There's a weird explanation for it, but I don't remember what it is. But there's an explanation for it. But I don't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head.
I mean,
They do have an explanation for it. You could look it up. I think it's on the wiki.
most of these things have weird explanations.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Because I thought that sounds like that's way more bloody, like blood
than he should have.
outside of his body than he has inside of his body at any
then-
given point.
Like whenever he like hardened it and it was
Yeah.
like half of his body.
And I'm like, that's like if you were in a body bag and you bled all the way out. And then it hardened into weird blood glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that doesn't work like that. But there's like a weird like thing that he can do to generate more blood quickly.
I figured it was just like part of his like cursed technique. He could,
It
like,
is.
use cursed energy to make
More blood.
That just totally makes sense to me. Being like, yeah, he can just make blood.
Yeah, it's just like generating more, like transmuting more blood.
Like, is it like reverse curse technique or something? Like he can just be like, eh.
Yeah, I did like that they used the same music whenever, like the whole dan, like that music for the fight. That's a terrible rendition of it, but
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My favorite thing.
Hopefully we don't get copyrighted.
Yeah,
right,
we
so
won't.
This is one of the sequences where the exposition pays off for me of explaining something that I just totally like went over my head when I read the manga, where I was like, I don't understand why the fuck Chozo started calling Yuji his brother. Like just right over my head. And then I'm like, I watched him. He explained it. I understand. Makes sense now.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That expedition makes sense because
it was just a giant leap of logic.
If Chozo...
Okay, Ethan, but imagine reading that and like just reading the panels and being like, either missing that text box or whatever, and you're like, what?
I love that part when Chozo starts doing that because I'm just like, it's an expansion on Toda.
It is. It's immediate. You're like, I buy it.
I was like, oh, another one.
But
it's
actually
great.
his half brother.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that's true.
No, he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's also funny, like, they literally killed his other brother.
Yeah. Tough love. Hey, it's tough love.
Yeah. I was like, I know you killed my other brothers,
there's
but we're
like
still family.
The stupid ass fucking...
There's like 12 more. It's fine.
The flashback, the imaginary flashback where they're all around the table eating.
He's like feeding Chozo.
It's like, here, take a bite, bro.
Take a bite.
You're like, what the fuck is happening? So it's so out of left field. It's hilarious.
I put this question, but it doesn't matter because I know my own answer now. Because during the rewatch, I heard it. I put why Dagon stays so tiny for so long because I thought that he just chose to get bigger. No, he evolved.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I missed it the first time, I guess. And then summoning quotation marks. Toji is OP as fuck because
this Megami
Megami just pulls him through and then
accident.
he just goes, I'm taking that weapon and I'm beating the fuck out of that thing. And I'm like, I love it. Every last bit of it.
I also love how you just like they do not get to have any sort of like conversation that means anything.
Yeah.
It is just it's snatched away from
Straight
you before
action.
you can get before it. You're like, no.
Yeah. And Maki's like, what? He just took that from me? Did I just lose a contest of strength?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, you did, bitch.
Get better.
Get better. She will.
Get gooder.
I didn't write it down, but Megami and Toji's fight was great. I actually have notes that I didn't put on here because I was afraid it was going to be too long. So let me scroll back through and see if I can find it. I did put plot armor memories in quotation marks because of the Chozo thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I also put this. There's only 4 special grade sorcerers, but there's 684 special grade 1 sorcerers.
Yeah.
Because but you
Special
also
grade. Okay, so here, special grade 1 sorcerers are just grade 1 sorcerers. Nope, that are not part of the Jujutsu Society architecture. This is what happened. Yeah, they're not actually special grades. They're special. They're just.
But Old Man Zenin was one.
Nope, he's a grade 1 sorcerer who's not in the Jujutsu thing, Jujutsu Society school system, whatever.
Gotcha.
I looked it up because I was also confused. I'm like, what the fuck is special grade 1 sorcerer? Just grade 1s that aren't a part of the system.
Huh. Okay. Well,
They could have named it something they could have named something completely different, but they purposely made it confusing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then kind of after you get through the whole Dagon fight, it cuts to Sukuna and Jogo fighting because that's one of the main fights there. And that's a really good fight. It also raises questions about what the fuck Sukuna's technique is.
Which one?
Exactly.
I really enjoy Sukuna's techniques because they're not anything extra complicated. They're just brute force strong.
Yeah.
I like it.
But
the one he uses the most is just like
Cleave.
Cleave. It's it's a slicing technique, just like
which actually he has two. It's cleave and dismantle.
yeah.
But
they do the same thing.
But that's not even all of them. People think that his, I don't know, it's fucking weird.
But he has more techniques.
He does.
Yeah.
And that's the
But
thing.
the main one he uses to fuck everybody else up is just
Cleave.
Cleave, which is just like badass.
Yeah.
Just like nope.
And then I also put Maharaga versus Suguna because, you know, you went through the whole Toji fight and now Megami's on his last leg and Miracle Bitch shows up and Megami goes, we're both going to die, bitch.
He's like, checkmate.
And that is, I think, the only instance where a character yells fuck in this anime. Because he's like, hey, wake up, fuck you. Fuck you. And then he gets bitch slapped by Maharaga. Big Raga, the op stop.
Fucking just looks also just like awesome.
Maharaga?
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like
looks
about
pretty
him
fucking cool.
is his head tail.
No, just
And it just, that's only because at certain times, whenever he's like turning, it looks
reminds
weird.
I don't know. It reminds me of like a Dark Souls or like a Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Like the angels.
Yeah.
Well, they're deities
Yeah.
in this. Like,
But it's just like the
Maharaga
design is like a
deity
very
as well.
like that same art style. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that, whenever Yuji has to see everything Sukuna has done with his body and he's pleading for only him to die. And then he goes, fuck it. I guess I'm going to go beat the shit out of Maito. And then he sees Nanami die, which is fucking terrible.
Oh my god.
And then he sees Nobara possibly die. Question mark?
Question mark?
Because
I don't know. I haven't read the manga.
They still haven't brought her back, as
I'll
far
tell
as
you,
I can tell.
As of episode or chapter 248, I think was what we're on. Hey.
They haven't brought her back yet, but they haven't also confirmed she's
Yeah,
dead.
it's just
Why would they not bring her back? She's like the best female character they got.
That's what I said. Ethan.
Really?
She has so much character arc left unresolved. She needs
Better than Mei Mei. That was fucking weird.
Do you have that on here?
I believe so.
Okay. The fucking incest?
I actually really do. And just hang on for a
The
second.
Mei Mei and Wee Wee scene.
Toto to the rescue and the boogie woogie was the next line because he lies about his fucking technique. He can swap it with anything.
Yeah.
In the first season, he says it can only be used with cursed energy. He can swap
He
it.
just fucking lies.
Just fucking wherever. If you want to swap, I'll swap. I'll swap with a blank space. Go fuck
No,
yourself.
I think it does have to be something, but he
guess.
uses a bunch. He just uses like rocks.
It could be air.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought was like
Yeah,
an air
it
particle.
Could be air.
Technically, it could be like a molecule of air.
Well,
I
think
always
about it. What if you did that and you could do that? You would be trying it on every damn thing.
Yeah.
Just be like, what could I do it with?
Oh, also after Nobara gets hit,
Gets her face exploded.
it cuts to the whole her fucking up Gojo's, or at some point it cuts to her fucking up Gojo's shirt, and they look up how much it cost.
Yeah.
It was 250,000. Did you do the
Yeah,
conversion?
I also looked
I
it up.
did too.
It's like, what is it, $1,500?
$1,728. He
expensive
paid
shirt.
for a fucking shirt.
Yeah.
The man owns too much money. I guess when you're the only part of your clan that makes you got some
You're
money.
rich.
And then these fucking slice of life anime. Do you, like whenever he drops the fucking neck, and then I don't know if either of you noticed this on the left hand side of the screen, it's got some Japanese words, and the English words that are out there say this is in Toto's imagination
Yeah.
as he's fighting with Takata.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so fucking stupid, but I love it.
That's why Toto's the best.
Then I put what's up with the snowscape, which is on here. I don't actually have. Actually, I do have it down there.
Oh, with Mahito?
Yeah, like it just felt weird
I don't know.
because at first anime watchers were immediately going, "Oh, that's Yuji's domain," is what they assumed.
I don't think so.
It's not.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think Yuji has
think it was
one
just
yet.
like one of those like weird hallucination things we do in JJK.
I guess.
I don't know. Immediately, you know what I thought of? I thought of Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
That's immediately
Yeah.
like the episode one.
It
of
does
Demon
look
Slayer.
like
It's
that.
like snowy woods. I'm like,
And the wolves.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess.
And then next up is weird ass Mei Mei and Wee Wee scene, which I spelled Wee Wee wrong. By the way, I know why I
you spelled it. We spelled wee wee like wee
French.
wee, like wee wee.
Wee wee.
Well, I figured it out.
I figured it probably autocorrected.
It did autocorrect on here because I got
Because it's just UI,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
OUI. Yeah.
And then on my notes on here versus my script note, I put good thing Yuji fought Chozo in the bathroom. Because he goes toe to toe with fucking Gato at the end, and it's like, God, if you didn't have that shit, you'd be dead.
You'd be fucking dead. But yeah, like, wait, what? Not what I expected.
Yeah.
What?
The fucking May May Wee Wee scene. I was
No.
I was like,
It's very out of pocket for the rest of what's going on.
it's like a hard
It's
cut
not even that. Like
to
that's
them in bed, and you're like, what?
like, why do we need that in here? I know that's like
Japanese culture.
Japanese thing, but it shouldn't be. I'm gonna be honest. It
It's like
shouldn't
the
be.
first sexual context we have in this entire show, too.
And it's
Yeah.
between an adult woman and a minor that is her
Brother.
Yeah.
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 And it'd be
That's
one,
rough.
like, it would be weird whether it was like adopted brother or not, but they got the same hair color. They're fucking related. You can tell.
They're blood related.
It's, I mean, I know why she's doing it.
Got
but,
some real Arkansas shit in going on here.
like, I read through some comments on that particular episode, and she's doing it to manipulate him because she's using his
Technique.
technique. And so she's literally being like the worst person possible. She's not actually doing anything with her brother. The idea is that she's
Stringing him along.
yes. And like to like, it's like, it's like manipulation. It's like emotional manipulation. Like what would you call grooming?
Oh, grooming.
Yeah.
Totally. She's a groomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to use his technique. Yeah. It's still really shitty.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Straight to jail.
And not the horny kind.
No.
Regular jail.
Regular jail. Yeah.
Maybe even Guantanamo jail for that shit.
Yeah.
Next up, I put that Yuta's voice kills me because I have forgot it since the movie. So whenever he like kills that curse and he just talks to that little girl, he's like, "Hey," and it's like
what's
so
up?
soft and quiet. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
That's
got to
another
deal with
thing.
this for some more seasons.
Just like read, like, I'm so glad I watched the movie because, again, if you just read the manga, they just like, Yuta's just like this person that
This
appears.
powerhouse.
And he's just like, I'm going to fucking kill Yuji. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why you say fuck me for? And you're like, what happened? Who? And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. And
I looked
It also-
into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story for it, it's gonna be okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll figure it out in about 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's not gonna take long. They say that like the next season is supposed to happen pretty early on. Yeah.
And it's going to be,
Like the first 2 episodes. Yeah.
I tell you, it's like in the first 2 chapters after this chapter. It's like, oh,
Well, you ruined that story arc pretty early. They could have kept that going for a lot longer.
Well, kind of not.
they will kind of.
Yeah. So this is my last little point. IGN gave the prequel arc an 8 out of 10, but the Shibuya arc a 6 out of 10
I don't know how,
on
like,
their ratings. And now let's do our ratings, and then we will rank our top 5 fights this season. Actually, Rotten Tomatoes gave a 91% audience score for the second season, and the top rated episodes on IMDb were 17 and 18, which I believe were
would
the
be-
2 Sukuna episodes, like Sukuna versus Gojo and Maharaga, essentially.
Jogo.
That's because people
Did
have
I
the
say
hots for
Gojo?
Sukuna.
It is.
I
They're
don't
all,
understand it. I have no comprehension of that whatsoever.
What?
People have the hots for Sukuna.
Yeah, it was Thunderclap 1 and 2.
I mean-
were both 9.8s.
What it is they have the hots for Yuji, and they're not wanting to admit.
They don't want to like Yuji because he's too nice.
Yeah.
So therefore, you like Sukuna, who's an ass.
Bad boy.
It's me. I give this season a 9.7. Like I loved it. I liked it more than the first season, personally.
I think we all said that before.
I think we did too. Ethan, what do you rate this season as a whole?
As a whole?
Yeah.
It was really good. So I'd probably give it like around a 9.2, 9.3. Yeah.
Gotcha. Jarrett?
I forget what I gave season 1. I think it was
As far as
9.5.
anime
I
go.
think you gave it like a 9. You gave it really high.
think
It
it
was
was
like
9.5.
9.7.
No, I think it's 9.5. I don't do your weird points. I do half points. But I can't go to 9. I can't go to 10 because it's not perfect.
So now you got to do the weird
I
point
didn't have
system.
to do it. So it's 9 point. We'll go 8.
That's what I honest to God, I was like, that's what he's going to say. It's also rated like considerably higher than season 1. Like all of the IMDb episodes are just mountains higher. Most of them are 9s. Like,
I feel like once you get out of what like the hidden inventory stuff is cool and I like it, it's really good. Once you get out of that, I feel like it's just all gas, no brakes.
Yeah,
It is.
It really
all
is.
gas.
Like the lowest rated episode of season 2 is an 8.0.
Yeah.
And there's 2 of those. One in the hidden inventory arc, which was the very first one.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
And then the one with Yuji talking about human earthworm 4 was also an 8.0, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's rate our top 5 fights. We're going to do each. I don't know if either of you have your ideas for...
No.
I do not.
So I'll go through the fights while you all are figuring them out, and then we can rate them. So first up was Toji versus Gojo. That was the first. I'm going to count the 2 between hidden inventory as 1 because they were both basically one continued fight.
Yeah.
Then Mahito versus Mekamaru, Gojo versus the 3 curses, Yuji and Megami versus the weightlifter dude, because I don't remember his name either, Nanami versus the miracle bitch, Yuji versus Chozo, Mei versus the plague curse, which wasn't really much of a fight, Sukuna versus Jogo, Sukuna versus Maharaga, Toji versus Dagon, Yuji versus Mahito, and that includes all of them.
Yeah.
So all 3 parts, which is a really long fight. Gato versus Chozo and everybody else is out there. And then I also put Rabbit versus Toji because Megami says in his technique that it's not an offensive technique. And then you just see one rabbit fly at Toji. Like one lone rabbit is like, I'm taking out Toji. And dies immediately, and then he stomps the floor and just fucking hits pieces towards the rest of the rabbits that are all trying to swarm him. And it was badass. So, you guys think you got it, or you need a minute?
Are we doing these in order?
Yeah, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your best fight to your least fight.
Gotcha.
Are we doing like our least favorite one too, or just our favorites?
We can add our least favorite at the end.
Okay. This is more difficult.
It is very difficult.
Well, after like the first 3, it's like
Don't actually count the Mei versus Plague Curse one.
I'm not.
It's useless.
I'm not counting it.
Okay, I got mine.
I think I got mine.
Let's try to get the other.
I'm open to be swayed though.
These
These are not set in stone.
These are not. These can change in a second.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll between me and Jarrett, and
go
we'll
ahead.
just go ahead and start while you're looking, Ethan. Jarrett, it's you. Give us your numero uno.
Number 1, Sukuna versus Jugo.
Jogo.
Jogo.
We're mixing up Juju K
And Jogo now. Just Jogo.
Did you
No, Jugo is a character from Naruto.
Jogo Kaisen?
This is the problem.
I would
you
not
watch
watch that
multiple
show.
anime.
Yeah.
Jugo is a character from Naruto.
Yeah. Okay, so that's your number
Yeah.
1. What's your number 2?
Yuji / Nobara / Toto versus Mahito.
Okay. Understandable. My biggest problem with that fight is that it's
Takes long, but
it's
got
5 episodes.
But it's got Toto in it, so it's automatically awesome.
I just, again,
Also, somebody dies.
multiple people
Multiple
die.
people die. Number 3, Toji versus Gojo.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. Number 4, Sukuna versus Maharaga.
Understandable.
Yeah, because it's like, oh. And then number 5, Gato versus everybody.
That's also a very good set of fights.
Yes.
Although it's not very much of a fight.
It's not
like it's
a
very
fight.
short.
It's very short, but I was like, it's awesome.
That's also why I put Chozo / everyone else
And
because
Toto's in it.
He can't do that no more though.
But he can do high fives.
you can.
He can actually also just imagine he's clapping.
That reminds
Yeah,
me.
because clapping is in the soul.
That
There's an
reminds me.
expression of the soul. Whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah.
Some dumb
That's
shit.
literally what he said. He's clapping is the expression of the soul. And then he smacks and he goes,
He smacks the stump in his hand.
so that reminds me, there's a part where Toto is like he's got something in his mouth. I think it's like one of Maito's knife hands or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in his mouth or in his hand. He's got something where he can't actually clap, but he still moves. Like he still claps somehow. And everybody's like, he clapped his ass cheeks.
Very
It's
possible.
like there's no doubt in my mind that he didn't clap his ass cheeks to activate his technique.
Clapping them thighs.
Yeah.
I just see here at the end of the anime, everybody's fighting the big bad. I just want Toto to come out of nowhere and just use fucking his technique with a stump hand to help win the fight because it'll be hilarious.
What I want him to do is learn reverse curse technique so he can have his fucking technique
Fuck
back.
it, just give him a Mecha Maru hand.
Ethan, what's your top 5?
My first one, number 1, starting on number 1, right?
Yeah.
Sukuna versus Jogo. It was super good, super satisfying.
It's also like it's just like animated, like
yeah, it was
insane.
It was really nice.
It is. It's really good.
Second one is Yuji versus Chozo. I thought it was really neat. I thought the blood sorcery was really kind of cool.
Yeah.
3 was Nanami versus Miracle Bitch. That is because
He
it
absolutely
was
dog walks him?
it was very satisfying because I hate Miracle Bitch.
Yeah.
And he dog walks him. Yeah.
Fucking just knocks the absolute fuck out of that kid.
Right into that wall. It was great.
Constant.
Yeah.
I love it.
And also because Nanami's not the. Bye.
Yeah,
Goodbye, Nanami. All right.
Oh,
pull one out for Nanami.
Yeah. Sukuna versus Maharaga. Maharaga was cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. And then 5 was Toji versus Gojo. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Seeing Gojo at work. It was really good.
It is. It's really good. So now we're to me. My number 1 was Toji versus Dagon. And I think that's because of the buildup of what was happening during that whole fight. And then Toji comes in and just fucks him up. And it satisfied me so much. Number 2 was Gojo versus the Curses. Because, again, Gojo
Gojo at work.
at work. And to see the stress on his face almost. Like, it was a different Gojo than what we normally see.
Well, seeing him mad was really...
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really...
Number 3 was Yuji versus Chozo, because like we've all said, it's great. Number 4 is Toji versus Gojo. I think I did say Chozo. I'm right.
You said Chojo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then number 5 was Sukuna versus Maharaga. But my main problem with that one is it's mostly just destruction around and less fight.
It's cool.
Well, it was alarming.
It
It
was.
was very alarming.
And it's also like we get to see. It's like the first time we see Sukuna like
Really unleash some power. Yeah.
None of that, but he's like, oh wait, he's got to try a little bit. He's
Yeah.
got to try a little bit. He's like, oh.
And then, Ethan, what was your least favorite?
Was Mahito versus Mekamaru.
Hey!
By a
Same.
long shot.
Same.
It was just really meh.
Are we
I
not
just
allowed
didn't care
to pick
about
Meme versus the Plague Curse?
I said write it out. Because that's not much of a
It's
fight.
not really a
That's
fight
why I was
because you
giving
don't
my
really
least
see
favorite.
anything.
Yeah.
It's not a fight until she basically like figures out how to beat it.
Which was,
Yeah,
get me out of this thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Use your
Like,
technique and get me the
distraction.
fuck out of here.
Right. We're gonna go to bed.
I mean, I guess.
That's the only thing that happened with
I mean,
Batman.
probably, realistically, my favorite fight was the Rabbit versus Toji.
That was the funniest one.
It was just
It
funny.
was just like out of nowhere. I was like, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, 100%. All right. I think that wraps everything up because we went for an hour on this, which I knew it would be a long one because there was a lot to talk
of stuff
about.
that happened.
That's
Yeah.
where we were talking about with everything just slamming what was happening.
I don't even know if an hour is enough time for this whole arc.
It's not.
It's not really.
We really skipped
We've
some
skipped
stuff.
Yeah, considering your notes didn't even have them sealing Gojo on it.
Yeah.
Well,
Which is like, the whole fucking point of this arc.
it is.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things it's not permanent too.
A lot of people died
Lots of people died.
that had nothing to do with it. Just nameless people
Yeah.
in the background.
Inumaki lost an arm.
Yeah. A lot of people got turned into blob
We didn't even
monsters.
mention-
What did you just say? Oh, we didn't cover that.
Yeah, we didn't even mention it. Just
Yeah.
like, he just
Well,
like,
he doesn't need a fucking arm. It's cursed speech.
we didn't get to
That's
mention
his technique.
fucking Sukino whenever he Kinesaki
Or
the old guy that uses the sword, not the old guy, but like the
Kugasaki.
Kugasaki.
Oh, whenever he stopped Panda and says,
he's
"I
like,
forbid everybody from
Forbid
moving."
everyone you're like,
Yeah, that was.
did everybody else just shit their pants? Because I did.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
and then the old guy dying. We didn't really talk about that.
Old man's in it.
He's not.
He's not dead.
No, he's
Yet.
yet.
Yeah.
He's
I'll just
really
spoil-
not
I'll
doing
spoil it for
well.
you. He dies in like the first chapter of this next.
Yeah.
He's gonna die in the
yeah.
first episode.
Is it that soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It like picks up.
And then
Right.
we
There
didn't
may be
really,
like a little
we
bit
didn't
of
really
time
talk
skip,
about the
but-
old lady getting murdered by, was it Toji?
Yeah, it was Toji.
Yeah.
Because she said, "Go kill some sorcerers," and he said, "There's a sorcerer right here." What's up?
Yeah. Haha, bitch.
Oh,
Surprise.
surprise, motherfucker!
Sunrise.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody dies.
Somebody. It's gonna be you.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it.
We're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry. And use the links in the description to find our Discord and Patreon and all the other shit that we have. And thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.
Deuce.
Bye. Adios.